I'm John Gallagher from LearningHerbs.com and Mountain Rose Herbs, and welcome to Herbal Basics. Today we're going to make an herbal honey. Honeys are a delicious way of adding herbal nourishment to our diets. They can be made with most any herb with a high volatile oil content. The strong smell from some of these plants yield delightfully tasting honeys that will add extra beauty and flavor to your morning toast, tea, or baking recipes. Our favorite honey we make with fresh herbs is with rose petals, and our favorite dried herb honey we make is with lavender flowers, and we'll cover both in this lesson. We're going to be making about 1 cup or 8 ounces of lavender honey, and it's great to experiment with just a small amount since honey is so expensive. Then you can see if you like it first. So what you're going to need is enough dried lavender flowers to fill an 8-ounce jar 1/4 of the way, and at least 1 cup of local raw honey, which you can find in your area, maybe at a supermarket, natural food store, or specialty store, farmer's market, something like that. And 1 wide mouth 8-ounce jar, which you can get at most supermarkets, and they usually come with the metal lids. I just happen to have a few of these plastic ones. Lavender can be used to help calm a person's nerves and also relieve depression or even just lift a person's spirits. So this honey is a wonderful addition to our everyday diet. First thing we're going to do is fill our 8-ounce jar 1/4 of the way with these dried lavender flowers. Make sure that it's 1/4 way and not like 1/3, because it really does make a difference. Now I'm going to fill the jar with honey up to where the lid rings are in the jar. Next, I'm just going to make sure I take a chopstick or some kind of end of a spoon or whatever you want and stir it around, because it's real dry. So you want to make sure that all the flowers are touching the honey and really getting in there. It's real pretty gloopy and messy, so gotta work with it a bit. And you'll notice when I do that, honey disappears a bit there, so we're gonna fill it a bit more, right up to the lid ring. Great. And clean the sides with a cloth. Then I'm going to take my lid and put it on. That was pretty easy, huh? And next you want to label your herbal creation with lavender and honey, and it's great to put the botanical name. A genus name is Lavandula for lavender, and I can put the species name if I'm, like it says right here on the lavender flowers package. And it's a great way to learn the names of the plants and the botanical names, and also by doing this you won't end up with a bunch of jars of mystery remedies. Okay, and next you want to stir your honey every day for 1 week. Then allow your honey to infuse for 2 more weeks. So that's a total of 3 weeks total. If you can wait that long, you know, you just might be opening the jar and sneaking a fingerful here or there early. But if you wait that few weeks, and also what we do as well, this honey, it seems like you need to stir it more. But another thing, like say if you're making fresh honeys, is you can just keep it on a plate or something so it doesn't spill out, and just kind of let it all honey float to the top, and maybe every time you walk by it or a couple times a day, just turn it over like that. And that's another great way to stir your honey without even opening the lid. The fresh honeys that we make, we don't actually strain the plant material out, we just leave it in like the rose petals. Because it just tastes really good. But the lavender flowers can be pretty intense, so we want to strain them first. So if it's crystallized honey or it's a bit thick, you can put it in a little warm water bath first if you want. Just to make this really least messy as possible, you can put it in a jar that you're just going to eat it from, so you don't have to transport it again. And I just put it in a little 16-ounce jar because this strainer that I happen to have fits well in there. And use a spoon, and you want to take this and put it right through there, and it will slowly drip through, and you might have to put some in and then come back, but eventually it's all going to go through, and you can help it along and then pour a little more through. And all that honey is going to just slowly drip down there. So delicious. Now store your finished honey in a capped, labeled jar in your pantry. These honeys will last at least a couple of years, but our experience is that they rarely stay around for more than a month. Here are some photos of fresh rose petal honey. Gather your wild roses or garden roses in places where you're sure they're not sprayed. Then fill the jar with the petals to like a medium pack and then pour the honey over it just like we did with the lavender. Then turn the jar a few times a day when you're passing by it. Now it only takes a few days, a week's best, but you can start eating your rose honey right away. Just leave the petals in there and spread it on your toast. Now for a challenge, I encourage you to look up what topical uses honey has as well as rose petals, even lavender. And then I wonder what other applications this honey can have besides eating it. You can learn more about lavender, roses, and honeys on herbmentor.com and enjoy your tasty honey. Who said herbal remedies had to taste bad?